Hello everyone, my name is Abhishek Sankhe. I am student of a SAS Institute of Management Studies. I am presenting the PPT of Is India really a superpower in a IT sector? Indian IT sector history. Indian IT services industry was born in Mumbai in 1967 with the establishment of a Tata consultancy services, who is a 1977 partner with the Burok, which began India's export of IT services. Information technology in India is a vast industry which comprises information technology services, consulting and outsourcing. The IT industry accounted for 8% of the Indian GDP in 2020. The IT and BPM industry revenue is estimated at a US $194 billion in FY 2021, an increase of a 2.30 YoY. The domestic revenue of the IT industry is estimated at a US $45 billion, and export revenue is estimated at a US $150 billion in FY 2021. Is India really an IT superpower? A study commissioned by Business Software Alliance (BSA), a global industry association that champions the cause of IT, has come out with a surprising finding that India ranked as a lowly 46th in the global IT business in terms of competitiveness. The study, based on a benchmarking of countries, was conducted by the Economics Intelligence Unit (EIU) for a BSA, and is aimed at highlights the strength and weakness of various countries in the IT business in both hardware and software. What come out of the study is a simple truth. Software is a much more than coding as a service, in which Indian companies have been excellent software engineering at a low cost in the key driver that comes mark the rise of companies such as Infosys, Wipro and Tata consultancy services. But then it comes to output in a global economy. A variety of factors determine output in a terms of the value generated in dollars. India and China are definitely counted seriously among engineer powers in IT, but competitiveness, as defined by the EIU study, is a much more complex game. The study measured 64 countries on a number of factors, including the overall business environment, including the policy regime, IT infrastructure involving features like broadband penetration, human capital including the education scenario, illegal environment including the patent regime, R&D research and development environment such and support for the IT industry, including features like the availability of in finance, with a different weightage assigned for various such features and their subplots. The study focuses on the overall environment that could help countries move up the value chain. Jargon, jargon for increasing profit margin through more innovation, patent, better business model, and deeper skill. Not surprisingly, the United States emerges as the most IT competitive nation in the world, followed by Japan and South Korea. Even in a labor productivity measured in a total output generated per IT employee, Taiwan, South Korea, and Ireland come out at the top, and India is down at the 22 rank, well behind China 10 and Brazil 19. It is about how capable a country is in producing technology as against how it is using technology. Say, Go Yu Hyong, Director Software Policy Asia for a BSA. Although labor productivity is in China and India are a high, the environment has a not catch up. We can't rely on a low labor cost for a long, he adds. Even within the Asia Pacific region, even Thailand at the fort- uh, 41 position in a global ranking in ahead of India, though China at the 49th position in the global ranking in behind India. India's hardware and software output per industry employee is at a 39,033 dollar, while for Taiwan, with its homogeneous hardware manufacturing and electronic component companies, is at 3,86,413 dollar, and China at a 1,36,506 dollar. The factory that pull down India's are the overall business environment in which India ranked 47th, an IT infrastructure in which India is ranked 62. But this should not surprise one because the study uses computer per 100 people and broadband connection per 100 people among the criteria. With more than 100 crore people, any such a factor in India has to be measured per billion citizens, and naturally, India become a laggard in such a term. PC generation, for instance, in only 22 per 1000 people. But this situation is a fluid. Countries high in the index may not be there 5 years now, remarked Jeffrey J. Hardy, BSA Region Director for Asia. In a human capital, Indian ranked 35th ahead of China, Malaysia, the Philippines and Vietnam. But in a legal environment, India rank is a 48th below in its overall ranking at a 46, thanks to its patent regime that does not recognize product patent for a software. Also, BSA officials say patent need to be better administrated in India because court case can drag on and court are not best equipped to handle complex cases related to intellectual property rights. Legislation is a very good, but enforcement is not as good as it could be, say Hardy. BSc officials say India could set up a special court to try intellectual property cases, as a Malaysia, Philippines, and Taiwan have done to improve the legal environment. The legal environment also impacts the research and development R&D environment, in which India ranked 49th behind China and Malaysia. The measurement relies on a patent filed locally through. It is true that Indian engineers are behind dozens of patents that have been filed by US headquartered companies like Google and Microsoft. Company may be headquartered in the US, but work gets done all over the globe. In such a scenario, a country's competitiveness cannot be isolated from that of a company. As a Vegas spiral and talent becomes scarce, pattern, innovation, and deeper skill may separate the man from the boys of the Indian IT industry. The PPT is finished. Thank you.